Hello Chibsters, Gav. I'm back with another video. I said there'd be an avalanche of videos and it looks like it's turning into one. I mentioned on the last one, which I literally only shot about 3 or 4 minutes ago, I'm not sure if I'm going to put this up as a double video or put it up tomorrow or whatever. But anyway, I digress. When don't I? The Warlord games, Black Powder Epic Battles, the Waterloo campaign, French Middle and Old Guard. It literally just turned up. Can you see it? There we go. Oh, look at that lovely tiny figures Gav's got to paint on the back. I've left the reading bins on, reading glasses to the rest of you, just so I can just read off what's in the box. We'll have a look. I say it's still got the cellophane on. I believe this cost me £25, including the postage from eBay, an eBay seller. I believe it was I don't know if it's bricks and mortar, but obviously, like I would say, a professional one. If though, turned up in a jiffy bag. No problem with this one. Obviously, it's not done. But I keep saying, if you're buying this as a gift for somebody, somebody puts it in a jiffy bag. At least 4 times out of 10, I'll get them with the corners stove in or whatever, because obviously they just get thrown in. That shouldn't happen. You know, I don't care if it takes you longer to pack them, or you've got to find carb, whatever it is. I wouldn't buy it off your shelves without a big discount if it was all smashed up. So why do you think you should be able to post it to me in a jiffy bag? That's my criticism. Not naming the company. I'll be fair, I can't even remember it. Anyway, and they all go half the time under different names on eBay anyway. But as we've said, it's a pet hate of mine, and I'm getting it loads and loads. It's like literally, there you go. Get what we'll decide what you're going to have. Oh well, stop bitching, Gav. Right, contents: 3 epic battles. Right, fair enough. I know what it means. Napoleonic French middle dash or slash old guard infantry plastic sprues. 3 epic battles plastic base sprues. 1 full colour Napoleonic flag leaflet. But it also says several separate heads with forage cap, bicorn or shako are supplied to allow for less well equipped middle guard battalions to be fielded if you have a keen eye and a handy with a craft knife. I wear readers. I'm 55 years old with sausage fingers. None of that applies to me, but I probably will be doing some head swaps. Well, we shall see. Yeah, I think that's about it. Obviously we've got, what they didn't seem to mention is, if they're showing it here, there's also 3 mounted commanders and 3 artillery pieces. I would imagine they are on there because normally if you buy single sprues, you will get those at least 1 gun. Although I was thinking about, I've got the British up for sale on eBay. Did I mention that? The one British, so 4 bases of. I don't remember that coming with a. I'm wondering if I've not put the mounted commander that must have come on the sprue, and I just haven't put it on because I'm not really. That was the first one I've ever done of those, but I thoroughly enjoyed painting them, and I just thought, well, I fancy a change. As I said to you guys, I will be doing some French 28mm hussars on the side. They will take longer than even these British hussars have taken that I've just painted, but I know a lot of people like to see the 28mm plastic or 28mm Napoleonics, but I do really like these Warlord epics. I've also got a American Civil War sprue coming, just a single sprue, because I fancied doing some Confederates. Although, as I say, I'm a Federalist myself, but Unionist, whatever you want to call it. I do like, obviously, with the Confederates, you get to paint a bit of a difference in the uniforms and stuff. But I will paint up some American Union troops as well. I'm wondering whether I keep those or sell them. We'll see. Oh, right. That says the contents. It says this plaque This plastic set contains enough troops to field 3 guard battalions, 80 soldiers in each. Company mountain officer. Old Guard are recognisable by the brass plate on the front of their bearskins and the rear patch on top. Yeah. Middle Guard bearskins didn't carry the brass plate or rear patch, so these can be painted over as if it's fur. We have added a few extra heads, as we've already. Also, this is what I was trying to get to. Also included our units of Marines of the Guard, 30 soldiers, Engineers of the Guard, 30 soldiers, just to add a dash of colour and variety to the French army. To cover the Guard in the attack, Napoleon fielded his lovely daughter's large 12-pounder cannon, crewed by excellent gunners, which could reach out further than most Allied guns. A dangerous foe indeed. Warlord know how to spin it, don't they? Except for you've got a clown like me reading it out. That tends to distort from all the bump that some well-intentioned person has put on the box. Right, I've got the tripod set up, so we'll have a look at the contents. Right guys, here we are. And these are, every time I open my mouth, Arch thinks I'm talking to him, so I get a visit. He's off again. Right, sorry about the clippy cloppy. Or the tippy tappy even. Right, let's have a look. I'll never get these back in. Now I do use the bases. Some people like them, some people don't. I personally don't have a problem with them. Right, this was packed for me by Stu. Let's hope Stu's done a decent job. Right, so these are our bases. You've seen them on previous videos. Because they're doing them to a standard, hang on, let's just put this down for a second. They're doing them to a standard base, so let's put them that way. And I can understand why. It's all obviously down to price. They can use all their cavalry, all their infantry, everything gets put on certain bases with the holes already done. The only thing I've got against the Epic range at the moment, and it wouldn't be a deal breaker for me whether I was buying them for myself or obviously painting them to pass on to other people, is just the cavalry. I prefer the cavalry a bit tighter to each other. I mean, especially the heavy cavalry, they're designed to literally, not designed, they're trained to ride literally knee to knee. The idea is that they charge as a block with no gaps, and they literally steamroller into infantry if they can. So I find that the spacing is a bit meh. But you know, you go with what you've got. It's not, as I say, it's not a massive deal breaker. I think they've come up with a really good system here. And by the way, I've got I bought these myself, as I said. I've got no connection to Warlord whatsoever, or to the guys I bought these off. I believe we're going to have the same, everything on the same sprue. Normally do, I think. Right, let's get down a bit. What I like about pros and cons, I suppose. I mean, the pros are, they say they've added some extra heads. Oh, I get it. Yeah, they're on here. They've added extra heads just to give a bit of variety, I suppose, as they say. Let's take these guys. They've done the brass plates by the look of it. Just enough. It's just proud enough that you can actually paint them as plates, but low enough in relief that you can paint. Because when they said paint over them, I thought, yeah, I'm sure there's going to be a big plate. You just painting a plate black. But no, I think you get away with that. Sorry, was that in shots? You can see you have the plate just about on show, so that's fine. Faces are good. Oh, Archie's on one at the moment. We've got a variety again, canteens, we've got gourds. Where are we, Gav? Come on. Here we will. We've got gourds, we've got the metal drinking canteens. He's not getting any attention. Again, people will go, oh, I'd like to see some heads moved. You could do it, you know, you'd have to be cutting away here at the muskets and that, and I would say you're moving away from... Look, I'm somebody, I like to see a bit of conversions, and I do very occasionally do some myself, but I just think you're moving away from what I believe, and listening to some of the owners speaking about what his ideas were originally for the epic range. I believe when you start messing around with them too much, it's epic because you're looking at a mass effect of troops. They're 13 mil, so when although I'm going to do I would think a fairly decent paint job on them, as I've said to you guys, you can enjoy, say, my painting for what it is, but if they were 8 feet away or 6 feet away on a tabletop next to somebody that's just had some contrast paints and a bit of... That's degenerating people that paint with contrast paints, I don't mean that. I just mean if somebody just puts blocks and colours in, that's what I'm trying to say, and done a bit of a wash over them, there probably wouldn't be any difference in what you were looking at. You'd just be looking at blue and black, let's face it. Some cross belts white. So yeah, you know, you can always want more. I say my thing, and I would have preferred to have a couple more. Where are we, Gav? Oh God, come on. Here we are. That's what I'm after. I'd have preferred some officers, an officer or two sprinkled in amongst the rest of the guys. But as I say, we all want something extra, don't we? Let's have a look at the Marines of the Guard, which, as far as I remember, weren't they just sailors taken from a fleet that obviously couldn't sail out of port without getting engaged by the British. Again, I love these poses. They've done really well on the casual poses. These are my favourite. The casual, I've always said it, I really like the casual poses. Now, obviously, people that doing the games, doesn't have to be black powered, but anything, they might well prefer these guys. Obviously, fixed bayonets marching across the battlefield. Some people say, well, it doesn't look right having relaxed poses being moved across a table. I disagree on that. I just think, well, obviously you go with what you want to. I also have a thing where we have bayonets on everything, you know, and a lot of the times the bayonets didn't get charged until you know, as in put the bayonet onto the musket. You know, it wasn't always put on 3 miles away type of thing. Because when you charge a bayonet onto a musket or onto any rifle, it's a very symbolic thing. You know, fixed bayonets in the British Army. You know, it comes fix, and your hand goes to the bayonet, and then bayonets, and they roar it out because you're going to do some damage with it. You know, and it's a psychological thing. Anyway, I'm digressing again. Here are our heads. I'll probably chuck a couple in just as again, bit of divergence. We've got our gun. Oh, as we're this way, let's have a look at our officer. So really nice. I like it. Some of the horses' poses on the light cavalry, British light cavalry I've got, I was a bit meh about, but and at one stage I even attempted to drill out the reins as I would have done on a metal one, but again, at this scale and whatever, it just and also a lot of them you couldn't do it without making a hell of a lot of mess. It just wasn't worth it. There will be people that will do it, I've no doubt, but you have to sometimes know when to cut your losses. Engineers of the Guard with their the roaches on the top of the helmets. Again, nice bit of difference. I don't know if I'll show the backs on these guys or not, but you know, fairly all conforming. That'll be in the blue trousers, I'd imagine. I suppose you could put some white ones in there. Yep, and you get your 3, so there's no point showing the other sprues, you get 3 of those. Hang on, let's go back, Gav. There we go. As my camera decides to sync even more. Hang on a second. It's not wanting to play ball today. Right, so we've got 3 of those sprues. They don't look a lot until you start painting them. I suppose the one benefit with these guys are, on the whole, they've got grey coats. Not all of them, but you've got grey coats, and nearly everything's in blue. As I said with the Brits, I only go so far on piping and that on these guys. It's a rabbit hole that you'll go down, it'll take you years to get out of. Again, the whole idea with these are they are blocks of infantry. You paint them as detailed as you want, but they're blocks of infantry. The idea is that you're seeing that it's almost like power. Does that make sense? The same with the American Civil War box sets. As I say, I haven't got any of those yet. People were grumbling about those, but like the guys at Warlord says, first of all, that it takes a hell of a lot of money to up front to get plastic dies made and everything, you know, the molds for these guys. You get your money back because they last for a very long time compared to, say, resin molds, which, do they make those out of aluminium so they're cheaper? I think so, but they break down a lot quicker. And obviously what they try to do is over time get their money back so they can reinvest and bring plastic into resin into plastic, if that makes sense. And I believe Games Workshop and their Forge World stuff do the same thing to a degree. So yeah, that's those. And we have a sheet of colours. These are the fanions for the different battalions. And as I was expecting, I mean, this alone, I mean, not that they're mega expensive, and you know, I think they're really, really decent enough. They're just printed off, nothing on the back, as you can see. But you've got all the stuff, all the units that they're showing you for this particular battle type, if you want to call it that. They're there, so we'll only be using, say, Imperial Guard, Grenadiers, you know, that type of thing. But they've got a Swiss one here. We've got Chasseurs Rapides, Fanion for the Middle Guard, Fusiliers and Grenadiers. And then we've got a whole host of line regiments from 85th, 21st, 45th. We've got Hussars, Lancers, Carabiniers. So that alone in the box will get you all the colours that you need, you know, for your French units, unless they bring any others out. I had to buy a British one separately. I didn't believe I got it from Warlord. Again, I just got it from somebody reselling. But I got the British one for the same thing. You can just keep going, you know, cutting out colours for the different units. So that's worth it in itself. So guys, these, here comes the seller. These will be up for sale when I finally finish them, but we'll have some videos of them. They'll probably get boring because it's a lot of the same, but we will be, I'll probably do all the battery at the same, you know, cut the guns out and do them all at the same time. Same with like the mounted officers. But yeah, I get the enjoyment of painting some Napoleonics. I won't have them myself, as I say, I'll sell them on. I am thinking about, I'll get this Reb unit. I am thinking of painting some up, selling my 10mm metals on, and I might actually do some units of these. We'll wait and see. But definitely these will be an ongoing work, I suppose, related project, which we can enjoy some videos on, and hopefully I can sell on when they're finished. Although selling on a brigade of these, they're not going to be cheap. So it depends out there who really wants them. But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Otherwise, they'll just join the box of a load of other unsold stuff Gav has. Right, look after yourselves, and we'll catch each other very, very soon on yet another video.